Everybody look good. Everybody want to holler when you drunk. That's all it's saying. Strange women, you holler. Just a little shit, ugly as all get out. But you drunk, you think she look like Mary J. Blige or somebody. Go ahead.
Yea, thou shalt be as he that lieth down in the midst of the sea, or as he that lieth upon the top of a mast.
Go ahead.
They have stricken me.
Stricken?
Stricken me. Shall thou say, and I was not sick? They have beaten me, and I felt it not. When shall I awake? I will seek it yet again.
So he said you were beaten? You didn't wait? I know millions, a lot of women be beat up on their husband when they drunk in bed. He wake up like, dog, baby, I got a head, my side of my head hurt. She know he was drunk, she get her licks in. Or anybody, when they get drunk, they beat them down. And then when they wake up like, how did I get laying down in the midst of this? Where am I? Because they not sober. They don't know what he at. Anybody can take advantage of you. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 5. God said, be ye sober and not drunken. We got to make sure that we are in our right mind before the Lord. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Hold it tight, put it right. Straight with no chaser. But this ain't gonna get you drunk. They gonna sober you up. This gonna sober you up. For you kids out there, you become 21, you think you're legal to buy something to drink, you better take note of this in the book. You better not overindulge it and leave this stuff alone. If you find yourself getting drunk and you taste this stuff, hey, and you start depending on it, you're gonna have a rough road. And you see all kinds of examples online about this stuff. All kinds. Come on, girl, let me smoke a little weed with you. Just one time. Come on, man, let's hit the line. It ain't, we can do it one time, just one time. But then when you hit it, boy, that feel real good. That feel real good. Now you have a long day where you want to hit that line again. You want to drink till you get drunk again. This stuff ain't nothing to play with. They say it looking like, yeah. Send somebody else over there to get him drunk. And now, when you can't get it, you become a beast out here on the street trying to get this stuff. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. God wants his people sober at all times. Go ahead.
See then that ye walk circumspectly.
Walk what?
Circumspectly.
That's straight, right?
That's right.
Go ahead.
Not as fools, but as wise.
How can you walk circumspectly when you're drunk? How? When you don't understand who you are. Some of these people don't know their name. They ain't sober. Go ahead.
Redeeming the time, because the days are evil.
Yes, sir.
Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is.
What's the will? Go ahead.
And be not drunk with wine.
He said, be not drunk with wine. Don't be drunk. That's the will. Don't be drunk with wine. Go ahead.
Wherein is excess.
Yes, sir.
But be filled with the Spirit.
He telling you be filled with the Spirit. I know they call wine spirits too. But this ain't talking about the actual supernatural world. They're talking about this wine that you drink, or this weed that you smoke, or this cocaine, whatever it is to get you there. We talking about being sober. We're not picking on people that drink wine now. I hear a little bit of the Passover, that's it. I just can't do it. But ain't nothing wrong with that. Like I said, just don't get drunk. That's up to you and your Lord. Let me show you an example now. Let's go to Genesis 19. Let me show you an example why God don't want us. Why God wants us sober. Genesis 19. You got to be sober around here. The men, you heads of your family, you main one got to be sober. Because you got direct traffic. All kind of traffic. come through your household if you don't have this book to help you. Genesis 19, verse 24. Let me show you this man and his kids and what his kids did to him. He was sick. Genesis 19, verse 24. Go ahead.
Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven.
Yes, sir.
And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew up on the ground.
So we're dealing with Sodom and Gomorrah. This is when God cast hellfire down and destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, all the cities around. So, but this is a time when God say Lot and his family. Lot and his, well, he tried to say his family, but his wife turned back. Go ahead.
But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt.
So just Lot, his wife, and his two daughters. Wife looked back, and just three of them coming out of that city of Sodom and Gomorrah. Jump down to verse 30. Let me show you what happened. How the mindset of these kids. Go ahead.
And Lot went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountain.
Yes, sir.
And his two daughters with him. For he feared to dwell in Zoar. And he dealt in a cave, he and his two daughters.
Yes, sir.
And the firstborn said unto the younger.
Listen to what she says now. The firstborn said unto the younger. What she say? Go ahead.
Our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth.
They thinking that it was just, they thinking that God would destroy the whole world and thinking just her father, which is Lot, and the two daughters, and their two sisters, excuse me. They thinking that's it. But listen at the plan they're coming up with. Go ahead.
Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father.
What? These kids coming up with this plan. They want to have sex with their daddy. They ain't talking about laying down with him. He said to get seed. Go ahead.
And they made their father drink wine that night. And the firstborn went in, lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. You
see what this drunkenness do? This man having sex with his own daughter. Don't even know it. Why? Because he was drunk. I'm telling you now, this thing take you to levels that you ain't know you had, and you wake up like, oh man, what I did. Go ahead.
And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesternight with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in, and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father.
Now she said, my turn. Coming up with these plans in our mind. The book tells you not to lean to your own understanding. Period. But they talking about, let's go lay with our daddy so we can preserve seed. They're thinking they're the only one on the earth at this time. God don't pay you to think. You just stand there and wait on the Lord. But Sodom and Gomorrah was so far from God, they didn't understand what they were doing. Because their father didn't teach them. Go ahead.
And they made their father drink wine that night also. And the younger arose and lay with him, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. He don't know what she doing. He don't know when she got in bed with him. He don't know when she got out of bed with him. Because they drunk, man. He drunk, man. He gone. Getting in with his daughters. This is why God said it's so important for us to be sober and not drunken. If you do something like that to your own kids, man, what are you capable of doing to anybody? You're capable of doing a whole lot worse. Go ahead. Thus, verse 36. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. Both of the daughters of Lot with child. Incest. This is what went down. Let's look at another example about not being drunk. Let's go to Genesis chapter 9, verse 20. All of this plays in being sober, showing you examples of
how not to get drunk, and how it's so important for us to be sober. So important. Because I feel good. Okay? Okay. That lick to feel with fire, it don't turn off. It don't turn off. You better beat that addiction. Genesis chapter 9, verse 20. Go ahead.
And Noah began to be an husbandman, and he planted a vineyard.
Not Noah. Go ahead.
And he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent.
So Noah was drunk with wine, he was uncovered in his tent. Go ahead.
And Ham, the father of Canaanites, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren without.
Ham saw the father of Canaan, and saw the nakedness of his father. Now, some people say it was a homosexual thing did to a Noah, but I don't think it's like that. Because the nakedness law talking about you should not uncover the nakedness of your father or your wife. He went in there and saw them naked. And the reason why I say that is because of what Shem and his brother and Japheth did, his brothers. The next verse. Go ahead.
And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backward.
So they took a garment, they walked backward, they saw it, they know their father, called Ham came in and told them, hey, Dad, they're not naked. But they're not doing whatever. And they got a sheet, and they walked backwards with it to cover it. Go ahead.
And covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backward. And they saw not their father's nakedness.
They didn't see his nakedness. They didn't see his mother neither. She was laying across there with him. Go ahead.
And Noah woke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren.
So he's telling them, he said, Cursed be Canaan. Canaan is the father of the modern day Africans. He said, curse him. That's why the Africans and the Israelites have some of the same curses. Some of the same curses. But our stuff is at a great level. Because we the sons and daughters of the seed of Israel. Go ahead.
26. And he said, Blessed be the Lord God of Shem and Canaan shall be his servant.
So he's making Shem and Canaan making Shem to be over Canaan. And that's how we're supposed to be over them. All because of what this boy did and saw his father nakedness. Folks say, why is so important this? Because people out here getting drunk today. And they don't understand why we the servants to these people. Why we the servants? We can never rise up. God said, I'll be a little sanctuary to you if you obey my commandments in your enemy's land. I help you. But we put more care into a bottle, into a joint, into everything besides his word. Go ahead. 27. God shall enlarge Japheth. Yes, sir.
And he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant.
Go ahead.
And Noah lived after the flood 350 years.
See, this is the time he put both of them brothers over Ham, or over Canaan. Because of what? He saw his father's nakedness. But it was Noah's fault. Noah the one got drunk. Just like Ham, just like Lot, it was his fault. He the one got drunk. So if you're a father, make sure you ain't drunk. You got to make sure you guide your family the right way. Let's go to 1 Timothy, chapter 5. Be sober and not drunken. That's the title of the message. Before the Lord. It takes you over here and show you that, wine is good for you. Read this for the wine drinkers. 1 Timothy chapter 5. We're going to start with verse 23. We'll read one verse here. And like I said, wine ain't bad for you at all. But when you drunk, that's when it becomes bad. Verse 23, go ahead.
Drink no longer water, but use a little wine for thy stomach's sake and thine often infirmities.
See, wine is good for the stomach, for your infirmities. I remember when my mom and my grandmother used to make this stuff called asafoetida. They go take a root out in the forest, put it in a bottle of gin. I don't know if the root working or the gin working, but you felt good when you woke up. Put you to sleep. And some old folk, y'all know about the asafoetida. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
So a little wine is good for the stomach. It helps you. But not a lot. Not a lot. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 14. We're dealing with drunkenness. And the only thing we can relate these substances to is wine. You can't relate all these substances like crack, cocaine, weed. I said, man, marijuana good for you. But when you overindulge in marijuana, how good is it for you? Somebody laced that junk with something, how good is it for you? Oh, it's from the herb. You're right, it's from the herb. And marijuana has some good usage. It's good for a lot of pain. But when your pain take you to the moon, I mean, when you start smoking that stuff where you don't know who you are, you drunken. You drunken. Deuteronomy 14, verse 22. Let me show you that God, He likes for us to drink, have fun, and use a little wine. Go ahead.
Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed.
Yes, sir.
That the field bringeth forth year by year.
This is the time when the feast days first kick off, and Israel's supposed to bring back the first of their harvest, and He tells them what to bring to make the feast successful, like we do. Everybody brings something to make the feast successful. But go ahead.
And thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God.
Yes, sir.
In the place which He shall choose to place His name there. The tithe of thy corn, of thy wine, and of thy oil, and the firstlings of thy herd and of thy flocks, that thou mayest learn to fear the Lord thy God always.
God said, bring 10% of all these vegetation. It's oil, corn, and all that. But go ahead.
And if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from thee, which the Lord thy God shall choose to set His name there, when the Lord thy God has blessed thee, then shall thou turn it into money, bind up the money in thine hand, and shall go unto the place which the Lord thy God shall choose.
God said, the tithe of all the substance that you bring, if it's too far for you to carry it to the town that you're from, sell it. And once you get there, buy the same exact thing what you sold, and you present it to the priest. But this is what He's saying about what you should present. Go ahead.
And thou shalt restore that money for whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, for oxen, or for sheep, or for wine, or for strong drink, or for whatsoever thy soul desires. And thou shalt eat there before the Lord thy God, and thou shalt rejoice, thou and thine household.
So me and tell we can drink some slick, small looking bull. That's strong drink. We can drink some Mad Dog 2020 in the feast. That's strong drink. It's different between wine. I'm saying this because my mama, she's looking at it. It's different between wine. Wine is strong drink. He showed the difference between the two. But the problem is not drinking. The problem is getting drunk. Exactly. That's the problem. We can have wine, strong drink in our feast. We can have all that. But if you can't hold your liquor, you don't need to be drinking. You don't. Let me show you how what Jesus did at a wedding with wine. He performed a miracle. Let's go to John chapter 2. So I'm just showing you that drinking alcohol is not wrong. Even Jesus drank alcohol. Now you're lying. No, you're lying. I'm going to show it to you. Jesus wasn't drunk. Sober. John chapter 2 and verse 1. Trying to give people some weapons of knowledge. Because you got a lot of people out there in the world want to try stuff. If you somebody who just love to indulge in something, you might not need to try this alcohol. Or these drugs, this marijuana and all this stuff. I don't care if it is a prescription. John chapter 2 and verse 1. Go ahead.
And the third day there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there.
Yes, sir.
And both Jesus was called and his disciples to the marriage.
So they was at a marriage. But when they was at a marriage, they ran out of wine. Go ahead.
And when they wanted wine, the mother of Jesus said unto him, they have no wine.
They're like, we ain't got no wine, Jesus. This is what Jesus said.
Jesus said unto her, woman, what have I to do with thee? My hour is not yet come.
That's why you telling me this. Because you know that you can do it. You can turn anything into wine. Go ahead.
His mother said unto the servant, whatsoever he saith unto you, do it.
Yes, sir.
And there was set there six water pots of stone, after the manner of the purifying of the Jews, containing 2 or 3 freakings apiece.
So he got these bottles that he put there with water in it, and they wanted Jesus to turn it into wine. Because they ran out. Paul ain't important if you got no bottle, right? Go ahead.
Jesus said unto them, fill the water pots with water. And they filled them up to the brim. And he said unto them, draw out now, bear unto the governor of the feast. And they bear it.
Yes, sir. He said, draw it out there. Let's see what we got. Go ahead.
When the rulers of the feast had tasted the water that was made wine.
The water that was made what?
Wine.
Wine. And you talking about no grapefruit juice, no grape juice. Wine. Real wine he made. And listen how they responded to that. Go ahead.
And knew not whence it was, but the servants which drew the water knew. The governor of the feast called the bridegroom.
Yes, sir.
And said unto him, every man at the beginning doeth set forth good wine.
He said, every man at the beginning of the marriage, we had good wine. Go ahead.
And when men have well drunk, then that which is worse, but thou hast kept the good wine until now.
He said, Jesus, y'all kept the good wine until now. But Christ